party people! Ladies and gentlemen, This is Comics Covered for the week of May 22, 2019, episode 77, which, just so everyone knows, is 7 times 11. That's what it equals.
That's true. It's 7 times 11, or it's 11 times 7. I tried to think of a different sequence of numbers that would multiply to it, and I could not think of anything off the top of my head.
10.
But you could say any different combination of numbers that would add up to it. Yeah.
10 times 7.7.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
So what you said was nonsense.
Thank you. Here on Comics Covered, other than math, we talk about comic books and the world around them, the comics industry, the movies, the TV, the games. We'll talk spoilers at some point about books, and we'll warn you about them. My name is Jack Price. A little known fact, Doug and I got wed this past weekend.
No,
it was a beautiful affair. Maybe we'll put pictures on it later, Doug. That'll be really great. I'm still new to comics, though, and but I'm here with my newlywed husband, who is not.
I stand by all that information. All of that is correct.
Thank you.
See, the confusing bit is you fucked up the rundown by not only claiming that you are Jack Price, which is not true, but also it doesn't make it. Why would you take my name and then you wrote my name as Douglas?
Douglas. Because you're Douglas.
That's like an old timey British last name or something, because we're like glassmiths. Is that what the hell you would call a person who does glass? A glassman?
Glassman? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it does sound like a cool detective name, like an old, Detective Douglas. You know what I mean?
But Do is not a name. That doesn't sound like an old time. Glass, sure, but D-O-U is not I would not hear that and go, oh, old timey detective. I think that was like the child of a hippie or something. I don't know.
You just ruined someone's life. You know, what if someone whose name is Do is listening to the show and they're
I guess that's probably that's someone out there's name is D-O-U, and I'm sorry to that person. But honestly, though, you don't sound like an old timey detective. I stand by that. Detective
Douglas going for the last case of his career. You know?
I saw. Speaking of that, I saw a Detective Pikachu this last week.
You actually saw it? Oh, how was it?
I did see it. It's very fun. It's definitely much more of a kids movie than the marketing makes it seem, but it's a very good kids movie. There is a distinction. There's a lot of times people watch a kids movie and I'll watch it and I'll be like, that was a bad movie. And they'll be like, no, it's not bad. It's just a kids movie. And I'll be like,
I hate that.
No, but there's a fucking difference between a movie being dumb and having being poorly written or being written for children.
There's a difference between The Beauty and the Beast and Brother Bear.
Yeah, a little bit. And this is a really good kids movie and one that's entertaining. I was entertained, just me and Leo went to it and it was great for us. But I can imagine if you brought your kids to that, I'd be like, I'd still be super entertained and I'd be happy my kids were entertained by it. It's a very fun movie. And I know it's based on quote unquote a video game, because that Detective Pikachu is a weird spin-off video game about Pokemon that came out a while back. It's weird. Yeah, it's very, very strange. But for all intents and purposes, it's just kind of a weird original thing, because it's nothing. It's just a Pokemon movie where the Pikachu talks and wears a detective hat. But it's just like a murder mystery set in a Pokemon world.
But Doug, aren't you seeing that movie? Aren't you kind of bummed out that they didn't make the Pokemon look as good in real life like the people making the Sonic movie obviously did?
They fucking actually delayed that now, which thank God. I was really worried for those animators.
Yeah. It's gonna go the way of the New Mutants, hopefully.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, no, not hopefully. I honestly I'm excited for New Mutants if that ever fucking comes out, although I'm guessing it'll be a train wreck based on the experience it's having. But I am way more curious to see how much of a train wreck Sonic is than I am. I'm not going to go pay for it in the theater unless, I don't know, maybe I'll get real drunk and go see Sonic, but it looks like just a disaster. Anyways.
It's been great. Okay, Doug. Well, I guess you kind of answered what you did this week. You saw that movie.
That was a thing. Yeah, I did that.
Anything else that was exciting? Oh, you went. Well, okay, never mind. I won't put you on blast.
Real quick. Apologies for the late episode this week, Memorial Weekend. It was hard to. I was out of town for all of it, and it was hard to coordinate. So I was in Wisconsin the whole weekend. Went to a wedding on Friday, and then I was just up at the cabin.
Our wedding
for, yeah, sure. And then, it was future relatives wedding. Anyways, yep. Meaning an unborn child is how I mean that specifically. It was their wedding.
Yeah.
Yep. Sticking by that. How was your week?
My week was fun. It was... Oh, here's something exciting that happened this weekend. On Saturday, my girlfriend, Samantha, sorry, everyone knows Samantha. Everyone does. Samantha and I went to Laguna Beach, which is like an hour away, and we had a nice time. We went to an art museum there, and it was super fucking cool, because I haven't been to an art museum since being more aware of like how, I don't know, art works and like looking at it more critically. So I spent a lot of time there, and it was really, really enjoyable, and I loved it.
Yeah.
There was a particular part that was super cool. And so this woman, she had a stroke. So she had to start, and she was an artist beforehand. So she had to start drawing and doing stuff with her non-dominant hand. So after post-stroke, she made this fairy tale storybook for like her grandson. And she wrote the entire thing both in Polish and English, and she drew beautiful illustrations for it. Shit, I wish I knew what her name was. I'm sorry. Her name's Ruth something. I forgot. But it is so cool. It was one of the coolest things, because it was just this hyper detailed stuff, and it was just so amazing to like see all the care she put into how these characters looked, this like crazy fairy tale style storytelling coming from her. It was crazy. It was nuts. There was like 6-legged blue dogs. There was a balloon that was being carried by a phoenix or a peacock. I forgot which one. There were yellow-skinned people, imps and demons and stuff. It was awesome. So yeah, that was cool. And then later that day, the more exciting thing is I got my first foot massage I've ever had. Have you ever gotten a foot massage?
No, I don't. I don't like the idea of massages in general.
Me neither.
I don't. Yeah, and I especially feel like it would be extra awkward with someone touching my feet. My feet, I don't know. It just feels like it would be tickly.
Okay, I totally understand. I had this exact same thing. But you go in there, and I'm just going to say it, there were these nice Asian women, and they were just so good at it. It was amazing. So first of all, they have this like, you're at the front, they have this like open area where you like go to the desk and they like do all the cashier stuff and everything. And then they let you into the back room where they have all the massage places. And it was this just like super peaceful, like red tinted light, like with Asian beads and shit all over the place with like those are like animals and shit. Not animals, but like, you know, animal recordings. It was just super peaceful. And then they brought you to a bed. And my girlfriend, Samantha, and I were like in beds next to each other, and they put like this thing over your eyes. So you're not looking at them, and they're just touching your feet.
And then they robbed you.
Then they rob you. No, but the way they do it, it's not tickly at all. I'm super ticklish on my feet, but they just know how to do it without tickling. I think it's because they just go straight for it. And they don't like, you know, lightly touch your feet. They're not nervous or anything. It's just their 9 to 5. So I think it's because they just have pressure with that. So it just doesn't tickle. It was amazing. My feet felt like I was walking on butter. You know what I mean? It was great.
I can imagine what it feels like to walk on butter. That's an experience I've had.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
You should get a foot massage, Doug. It's great. It's really, really great.
I really don't. I just don't like the idea of people touching me.
I don't either.
It feels uncomfortable. The extent to which I don't like people like fussing over me is why I cut my own hair. I don't like going to the barber. I don't want it this seems worse to me because they're like, it's weirdly more intimate, and I don't like that.
Wait, you legit cut your own hair so you can avoid the interaction you have with the barber?
Yes. Also, I'm cheap, but both.
I'm not going to use cheap. Cheap is not an excuse. You can get your hair cut for $15 if you really want to do.
But what if I'm too cheap to spend $15?
It's $15 that you probably have to do it like once every 6 months.
I started doing it when I was a poor college student. You know, like I'm not like I was trying to save every dollar I had, but also I just find it incredibly awkward sitting there with a person fussing over your hair. But
see, my barbers they don't speak English, so that's the best way to go.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Doug, you're a weirdo. Let's move on. Mm-hmm. Okay, Doug, let's move on into news. I'm so glad the way we say news stuck. It's really, really nice. News. Okay. Going on to news. You know, a lot of stuff happened. I actually had an obsolete story on here before we came on today, so we could fix it. But Tom King, lots of stuff going on with him and Batman. Earlier this week, there was I think, Bleeding Cool article. It's always them, I feel like. Bleeding Cool has some good-ass press people. You know what I mean?
Well, they're kind of generally the ones doing a lot of the, like, investigative reporting stuff, I feel like. Other sites definitely do that, but I feel like they break a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a thing that they make a priority over there. They also do a lot of rumors and crap. So, I don't know. It's a mix, but...
Gotcha. I always wondered, how do you exactly bleed cool? You know what I mean? I want to bleed cool.
Yeah. Maybe I feel like it's more in the sense of like how the Brits would say it. He's bleeding cool. That was bloody. Bad. That was a bad impression. I've offended everyone from the Isles.
There might actually be people there because didn't you visit some coffee shops in over there?
Well, that was in Ireland.
In Ireland, sorry, I forgot where you went. I don't really pay attention to you. Nonetheless, lots of stuff happened with Tom King and Batman. Earlier this week, it was rumored that he was leaving at issue 85 of his run that he originally purported to be about 105 issues.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was confirmed by DC higher up saying, yep, he's leaving at 85. And then they came back and they were like, oh, but wait a minute. Everyone's mad at this, so let's damage control and say that, don't worry. Tom King and Clay Mann are going to be continuing Tom King's vision for the end of this storyline in a maxi series. 12 issues called Batman/Catwoman. Who knows? That might be I don't know. It's not going to come out till January or something next year. So, don't hold your breath. It might have changes. But yeah, I was really surprised with as divisive as Tom King on Batman has been. Even people who are saying, I don't like his run. I'm not that big of a fan of it. But those people are also saying, let the man finish. Cause this is ridiculous to stop at about 20 issues before it's gonna be done. Like, what are you gonna gain from this? And Doug, I know you had some choice words on Twitter too when you posted about this.
Yeah, back when it's hard to tell now if this was still them forcing him out or I'm assuming it has to be, because this was a leak, it has to have been always the case, whatever the motivations was, that they were always going to move him onto this second title. Because it would have just been the dumbest fucking thing ever. You're just because my point on my post was you're gaining very little moving him off so close to the end. The people who sales have slipped, not precipitously, but they've slipped a little in this last Nightmares arc. But it was nothing that they wouldn't recoup with a little bit of time, and like you're going to gain very few readers back who had already dropped, and you're just going to piss off all the people who are reading it and like slight your exclusive DC critical darling writer and his collaborators, and it would just be the fucking dumbest move. But anyways, I'm assuming this was always the case. Whether or not moving him off of the core title is still motivated by some of the backlash to the series or not, I'm assuming this was always intended, and that the news, the first bit of news about him leaving just got out on them early.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to kind of be like, well, shit, I'm willing to bet they had to scramble to put together some of this announcement stuff around Batman Catwoman in response to that. So they definitely weren't ready.
Yeah, I would assume that. I mean, nonetheless, this does seem, the way they're going about it now with this Maxi series, it does seem like the best of both worlds, win-win situation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, like, he's going to have, if he's going to be doing this, hopefully all with Clayman, it'll be, like, a contained, kind of more special feeling story, than some of, the other Batman stuff, which is also great.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, something about this feels like much more of an event. It's not an event, quote, in that sense, but, like, you know, like, it feels like, you know, this is the thing that Tom King excels at.
Yeah.
Is he picks an all-star artist creator, and they do a 12-issue deep dive kind of beginning, middle, and end thing with a character. That's what he did on The Vision. It's what he did on Miracle Man, Mr. Miracle. That's a different thing. And yeah.
No, I agree completely.
I'm very excited.
It should be really exciting to have that. And, yeah, no, it's going to be great. I'm really excited to just read his run in general. Maybe I should just jump into this, Max. I'm just kidding. No, I shouldn't.
You probably could. But
I'm not going to, though.
Even one thing that frustrates me about this, and I know this is just kind of the nature of the fucking thing, but like, and this is probably like 10 times worse for you, but knowing about this kind of feels like a spoiler. Like, I feel like I know, I mean, it's obvious kind of what this seems to imply about the future of these characters.
I mean, I guess so, but it was always, like, I went to WonderCon and he said in his spotlight that his whole run is based off of Batman loves Catwoman and Bane is bad.
Bane is mad.
Mad, sorry. Bane is mad.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, this is still kind of the thing, so I get it, you know?
I mean, I guess, yeah, it doesn't imply necessarily what their relationship will be in this series. Yeah. But I am excited, because I think their relationship has been specifically one of the most interesting aspects of his run. And like, because it's not a thing that, Batman writers often really dig into. They just have a kind of,
the only time I know about it is Hush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he does some deep dive stuff into kind of like, why are they attracted to each other? What do they mean to each other? And why is it difficult for them to be together? It was pretty fucking frustrating news, that first bit, but I am excited for what this maxi series will bring. So
yeah, lots of absorbance. Moving on. We also have some interesting Batman news on the movie side. So, as we have reported before, what's that dude's name? The guy that's doing this?
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves is having, a nice little Batman film that he's going to be making. It's going to be great. Yeah, he's described it as more of a mystery focused, I think I remember them saying. Like, seeing him as a detective.
I think that was a thing that he implied at one point. Yeah.
I believe so. Well, the big news was that, none other than Team Edward has gotten the, Bruce Wayne moniker. Robert Pattinson, most famous for his role in Twilight.
Yeah.
Will star as Bruce Wayne.
So this is
Doug.
Yeah, this is a report coming out of Variety.
Right.
And so it sounds like it's not, what now?
What do we think?
Of the casting?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's 100% set, but it sounds like it's pretty close to happening.
Okay.
So this is not an announcement, but this is a report that they are in negotiations with him, but that it is close to being a done deal. And I don't know. I don't dislike Robert Pattinson himself as an actor. Yeah. I mean, obviously those Twilight movies are garbage, but like,
it's mostly the writing.
But yeah. I mean, I don't think I honestly haven't seen a ton with him. I don't have much of an opinion. I've seen lots of trailers for things with him that seem like he's kind of doing his own thing, kind of breaking away from that stigma. But like, yeah, I don't remember watching those movies and thinking like he's a bad actor.
No.
So I don't know if they're going for a slightly younger, or definitely younger than Ben Affleck, but if they're going for a younger kind of approach, a more traditional kind of Batman, I don't know. I can sort of see it. He has a kind of a brooding quality to him. I don't know.
The only thing for me is he seems kind of lanky. I feel like he's going to put on some weight for this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, fucking Christian Bale got Batman Begins and put on shit tons of weight. Because he had just gotten off of The Machinist. Yeah. Ridiculous. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. But, okay. Yeah, no, it should be interesting to see some stuff come out of there. Hopefully they figure out what's going on with that film soon. Like, officially.
There was also, and I didn't put a link to this, but there was a bunch of leaks around, or reporting around the, supposed villains in that movie, which people are saying, it sounds from these reports like it might be, in a strange bit of mirroring of the past, the Penguin and Catwoman.
Huh. Interesting.
Right? Huh.
Yeah.
You'd think you would want to at least mix it up a little, but I don't know. Maybe there's big fans of Batman Returns. Who knows?
Guess it ain't broke.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that works. I don't know if I know of any other news. What else? Was there anything else for you?
No, those were kind of the most interesting things to me, at least.
Okay. Very, very cool. Well, let's move on into our weekly comics.
Cool.
So, we read comics. We also, during that musical interlude, looked up who I was thinking of, and the name of the artist of the fairy tale storybook thing, who had the stroke and stuff. Her name is Helena Modjeska. So yeah, if you want to look at her remains. No, just, I mean, if you want to see what it was, it's very cool. So there you go. So I read that, but other than that, we had some other stuff that we both read. I'm gonna say them because I can go second day. We both read Detective Comics number 1004, Ghost Tree number 2, Invisible Kingdom number 3, Justice League Dark number 11, Martian Manhunter number 5, and Action Comics number 1011. I read alone. What'd you say?
1011 even.
101 1.
1011 Dalmatians.
Oh, that's good. Good job, Doug. It's a movie.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of Dalmatians.
It's a lot. I read alone Assassin Nation number 3 and Road of the Boned. Oh, sorry. Doug wrote that joke in here. Road of Bones number 1.
Would you like to ride the bone train?
You said that last week.
I love that joke. A perennial favorite of mine, and only mine. I also picked up Dial H for Hero number 3 and The Goon number 2 because Jack's store did not have that issue. So
they had
I alone read that.
I apparently just forgot to put it on my poll, which is annoying. So I have it on there now, and I'm going to get it next week. So it should be fun.
But were they just out?
They sold out, and I called everyone around. Everyone sold out. It was crazy.
Wow. Okay. Very quickly. I just want to say, I don't know if we'll talk about it because you're not reading it, but this Dial H for Hero one that series is great, and I recommend it. But maybe we'll come back to it in a little bit. But quick note on this cover, so it's Dial H for Hero, but then they've got a guy pulling the paper on the H to reveal a big V, and he has a speech bubble that says for villain. So you're supposed to read it as Dial V for villain, but what it actually looks like is Dial Vero for villain.
Okay.
It's very confusing.
It's number 3.
Uh-huh.
Dial H for Hero, number 3, DC. Let's see here.
Or Dial V for Vero, and then he yells for villain. It's very confusing.
That looks really weird. Dial V for Vero. I don't see the speech bubble on this image, but I can see how it'd be very...
Oh, his speech bubble is him saying ... for, and then in quotes, villain.
Oh, I see it. I got it. Dial V for Vero.
Dial V for Vero.
Okay, that works. For villain.
Anyways.
It's a fun cover, at least.
Yeah, the art in this series is very good.
Okay.
I actually do want to come back to it once we get through this. We had a shorter week this week, and I feel like we haven't... well, I guess we're recording late, so that's why we haven't talked in a while. But so we just wanted to kind of quickly go through a lot of these books. We also don't have a ton to say about most of these. So I think we're just gonna
it's a turbo round.
Go through all of them. Yeah, it's a speed round.
You gotta give it a
we'll
fun
see if we
name,
actually hold ours.
They won't have fun.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to hold ourselves to that. Although I do, now that I think about it, we never fucking talk about covers anymore, and we keep forgetting, and every time I bring it up, we do it one episode, and then we forget for a month.
What's your cover
Any
of the
covers
week?
You liked this week?
I really like Ghost Tree, but I mean, I guess it's just, whatever. I really like Martian Manhunter.
Oh, yeah, Martian Manhunter is cool.
That's a fun one. Leviathan is nice. I kind of like that. It's also nice because this arc that we're on in Action... Wait, did I just say Leviathan? I meant Action Comics. This arc that we're in is Leviathan Rising. And, of course, because it's rising, because Superman is underneath it, lifting the big stones that say Leviathan on it.
Mm-hmm. And it's a very confusing metaphor, but I was pleased that because I saw the previews for this cover and I was like, it's gonna have a title and stuff on it. How are you gonna be able to read this big word Leviathan? It's like stretching up to the top of the page, but you can totally read it. It works just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am also I mean, fucking Goon covers are always amazing, but I this cover in particular. You can't see it, but it's cool because it's a mix of kind of two of his styles. One is the more inked traditional style with some kind of watercolory colors, and then his more like scratchy pencil pencil art.
Is it the villainy of Vinny Nosferatu?
Yes, Vinny Nosferatu, who is a very funny idea for a character. I look forward to reading that issue eventually.
Italian gangster vampire?
Yes. That's it. You got it. The name kind of communicates it all.
Vinny! Love it.
Yeah.
It's great. But yeah, I don't know.
Great.
Other than that, the other ones are fine.
But the Dial H for Hero one is actually also great. That might be my favorite this week.
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah.
I do like the Road of Bones cover. It's just a bunch of skulls on the ground, but I really like this art style, and it's continued throughout the book as what
is there a road?
It's kind of a Road of Bones. Yeah.
What is it about it that qualifies it as a road?
Do you want to say the word how one more time?
How?
Thank you. I guess it's just a long piece of stretch of things that's a bunch of skulls.
Perfect. Okay, I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do a turbo round, Doug. Come on.
Well, spoilers? Are we going to talk spoilers?
Oh, we're going to talk spoilers.
We should do a spoiler warning.
Okay, here's your spoiler warning. I dreamed a dream in time gone by. That's it.
That was perfect.
That's
the sound that you hear every week to signal instinctually, almost Pavlovian.
Yes.
That we are about to move into our spoiler section.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
So let's just go through these in order. What is that from?
Musical Les Miserables.
Of course. Cool. So, all right, let's just go down this list. Jack, what do we got first?
Oh, yeah. Okay, we got first. We're going in the order that I just said them, so stick around, folks. It was fun. We got Detective Comics number 1004. This issue, we got a big old, explanation of the backstory of our new Arkham Knight. Doug, what'd you think?
Mm-hmm. It was a little, I don't know. It works fine. I get more who this character is. We talked last issue about... Are
you interested in the character?
Semi. I don't know. Again, we talked about it last issue. The Arkham Knight stuff wasn't necessarily the draw for us. And after... Because that last issue kind of solidified that, what's interesting about at least this arc is that it's Bruce and Damian, and that done really well. And this had very little of that, because it was all backstory. And I don't know, it very much feels like a 80s, 90s new Batman villain. It's very heavy-handed. She blames him for the death of her mother, but she's wrong. Also, there's a really frustrating misunderstanding happening there, because she thinks he killed her, and he didn't. Someone just used one of his batarangs.
The way I see it, I know she does actually think of him like that.
That's where it breaks down for me.
But I don't know. It is kind of his, she's still, it's an ideological difference that they have between each other based on what she's seen as she was growing up compared to how he's seen crime. And I do really like her in that sense. I
thought that was interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. That alone makes me very much more interested in her and her ideas behind, what's bad about Batman and how he, deals with people. I don't know. I really, really enjoyed this story of hers. And I do think it's a little funny that that little wrinkle of "you killed my mom" is added in there for no reason, really. I don't think you really need that.
Because I really don't think it's just overkill. Even if it was, if they dialed it back one notch, and it was that, she knew someone used one of his batarangs, it's still a little bit overkill, but it's not going, too far. And then, honestly, I think what you're saying is right. I think it's interesting enough just having her been, that she was basically raised by the inmates at Arkham.
Yeah.
In a weird way. And, so she sees it from their side, but is also, trying to be a good person. And so she has this very twisted idea of kind of, or not even twisted, just she's seeing it basically from the complete opposite perspective of him.
Yeah.
Of kind of the harm that he's causing to these people. And that stuff is interesting. And I think that the stuff about her mother's death and everything is just unnecessary.
It seems like one of those misunderstandings that are in movies where they're just let me explain.
Yeah, it's just it's something that's it's maybe my biggest pet peeve in storytelling, bar none.
Yeah.
Is characters looking it's looking across a room. A character character A likes character B. Character B is in a room with character C, and they look like they're flirting, but they're not really. And once character A leaves the window or whatever for 2 seconds, then the facade drops and it was nothing. But then for let's say this is a TV show, and let's say this TV show is fucking Stranger Things. for like most of a season, character A is mad at character B because no one takes 2 seconds to explain. Oh, I hate it. Anyways.
I didn't notice this thing in Stranger Things. This is a thing?
Did you watch season 2?
Yeah.
Okay, it's when the fucking...
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler warning for season 2 of Stranger Things, I guess. But 11 is looking in on them in a gym at one point, and what's his face? The main kid.
Main little dude? Okay, yeah.
Like, who she has, like, a love interest with.
Yeah.
He's, like, in, like, a weird moment with the ginger girl with her skateboards.
Yes.
And she looks in and she's like, oh no, they're in love. And then, like, for, like, the rest of the season, she's mad at him.
Okay, but Doug, 11 has severe issues. She has not had a normal upbringing where she's been able to hone in on her emotional experience.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that these things don't happen. I'm saying that as a viewer, it's maddening because it's so easily solved.
Understandably so. I agree.
Anyways, I didn't mean to go off on a rant about Stranger Things just then.
Or like doing things like keeping things secret to protect you.
Yeah, but then this is a different side tangent, but then getting mad about people because they kept the secret from you, even though, like, there are totally legitimate reasons for keeping the secret from the person. Like, oh, you lied to me. I hate it. Anyways. Yeah, I think there is a lot interesting about this character. And I think it's going to be, in the end, super overshadowed by the fact that, because there's going to be a reveal at some point where he's going to be like, I didn't kill your mom. And she's going to be like, oh, what? And
they're going to, like, work together or something.
Yeah, then there's going to be some third villain or something. I don't know. But who knows?
I'm okay. Whatever. I get it. I get your frustration. Are you going to stop reading this book?
No. I'm interested enough. I went off on a little bit of a rant there, but mostly not about this. I just think the mother death stuff was too much, but the rest of it is interesting. And hopeful for more Bruce Damian stuff now. We've got the backstory out of the way.
Yeah. And I think the art is holding up. I really enjoyed the art of this issue. Was it a different artist for that background stuff?
Nope. It's all been Brad Walker, and I think his style is really growing on me. It's very dynamic. I very much enjoy. He draws Batman's face, like his mask, different than anyone else I've seen.
Really? I never noticed that. What?
Like, he almost gives him, like, it's almost like a little bird nose. The mask, and then the eyes are very wide.
Oh, that is weird.
It's like the eyes look much more goggly in his version, and then the nose is like a little kind of almost owl beak. It's
nose is the most significant one, and he does the eyes the same on Robin too. It's just he does it.
Yeah, that's just his style, but I like it.
I like his bird nose. Cool. Yeah, good bird nose.
Bird nose.
He's like. All right, let's go on to Ghost Tree. Ghost Tree number 2. This is the halfway through the series. We're only gonna have 4 of this one, which is unfortunate, but you know, it's a nice little story, and I'll keep going. Doug, what'd you think about this?
This series is really interesting. I think this is it's a nice little kind of, I was about to say slice of life. It's not a slice of life story. It's like a magical
slice
realism
of this guy's
thing.
life.
Well, yeah, if your life was you had a magical tree where you could talk to ghosts, then yeah, I guess this is a slice of, in the same way that Indiana Jones is just a slice of that man's life. That's what he goes through all the time.
Guardians of the Galaxy. You know?
Yeah, just a slice of life. Yeah, so this guy has gone back to his old home in Japan, and he's found that he can talk to these ghosts, and he's helping them solve their problems. He's getting kind of swept back up into this old romance he had. He didn't know the girl had died. And I really find the characters and their dynamics interesting here. Especially my favorite new character, Melted Face Man.
I was just going to say, I would like to talk to you about my melted face.
That panel is one of my favorite things quite a while is just this big half-page panel, more or less, where this man scares the main character and says his face is just fucking melting. He's just a skull with molten flesh dripping off of him.
Do you see the ear
mouth
on his
agape,
chest?
Yep, his ears dripping off, and he just says very calmly, "Excuse me, I would like to talk to you about my melted face." End of scene.
Actually, though, we move on from that.
We move on, and we never go back to Melted Face Man. And I love him.
I want a full body painting of him saying "Excuse me, I'd like to talk to you about my melted face." That'd just be the best art piece I'd want in my house.
This is one of my favorite non sequitur moments since the Hellboy "that monkey has a gun" sequence. Have I ever sent that to you?
No.
It's very good. Oh fuck! I gotta find this thing. Hellboy.
Okay. Post it on Twitter too.
It's so good. It's just I'll send you an image right now. This is a very famous one. If you know this, I will link it to you. Here, I'm posting it in the chat.
Okay.
On Zencaster. It's important.
Okay.
So it's and then everyone's favorite thing. I'll describe this. So it's a panel of Abe Sapien, and he says, "Is that a monkey?" And then there's large panel of monkey with revolver, blam blam, and then a very small panel of Hellboy yelling, "He's got a gun!"
Okay, I can see it. Oh my god, is that a monkey? He's got a gun. Blam. Why does this happen?
I don't remember. I think I read this in because I was doing a reread. Oh shoot, this one's the fucking one where they reorder the panels. Because the better version of it is the real one in which Hellboy yells he's got a gun before the blam blam. Damn it.
I see that one. That's what I have.
Oh, did you just Google it? Oh, okay.
You gave me a link to a Google search.
Oh, I gave you a link? Oh, whoops. Anyways.
Google doesn't let you link to specific images anymore because copyright.
Oh, I have an extension on my Chrome that just puts that function back in.
Oh, that's nice.
So I can still open them.
That's kind of weird that they'd allow that on Chrome, their own thing, right?
It's just a user-made thing, you know?
So.
I mean, there's nothing illegal about looking at the image. It's basically a thing to get lawyers off of their ass, saying we didn't put that functionality in. And also, there's literally nothing illegal about looking at the source of an image. Anyways.
Yeah. Nonetheless, this is love this moment too. But yeah, I love Melted Face Man as well.
Melted Face Man.
But yeah, no, this book is just really, really, it's very, very, very different from anything else we're reading at this point or really at any other time. Just a nice, sometimes it's humorous, sometimes you got more dramatic, emotional moments, just about his sort of experience going back to the homeland and Hope and his grandfather being worried that he's going to get stuck there, dealing with the problems of the past as opposed to dealing with his own future.
Yep.
But yeah, and then we are introduced to this big demon-looking cool thingy and some bigger problems that are going to come to be later, it looks like.
Yeah, this weird guardian of the tree or the ghost lands or whatever, he's fucking melting or something at the end. He is becoming Melted Face Man.
Oh no.
Oh no. So time is a flat circle. Anyways, yeah, it's just you're totally right. It's a totally different energy for most of that. We tend to go for more kind of faster paced and or I don't know, action-y stuff generally. I mean, there are exceptions, but this is just a much more kind of slow character-based kind of thing, drama thing. There's mystical elements, but the draw of the story is just kind of about this character study, and it's very well done. I
love the design of this Guardian guy. He's so cool.
Yeah, he's cool. That was honestly the reason I picked up that first issue, is because he was on the cover of that first one, and he just looks cool.
Yeah,
and I was like, that looks interesting.
Absolutely. But yeah, excited for this to keep going. I'm glad 4 issues seems like a good thing for this, I think, too.
Yeah, I think that is the perfect amount for this. Like, it won't overstay its welcome. It'll feel very fleshed out. It'll feel like very, like,
finalized.
Yeah, like you'll have a good sense of finality at the end.
Yeah.
I'm just being stringed along more than necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go IDW.
Yeah.
Doug, we got Invisible Kingdom next from Dark Horse Burger Books. What does it mean when they have Burger Books on here?
It's an imprint. Karen Berger is I think she used to run Vertigo? Am I thinking of the wrong person? But she is a respected editor, I believe.
Well, I don't respect her.
Yeah, she helped create the Vertigo imprint at DC. So
I disrespect her.
So she
fuck you, Karen Berger.
Oh,
sorry. I was just kidding. I'm sorry.
Also, very unwarranted because we both very much like this book.
I really like this one. No, it's great.
This issue, I think, was the best so far.
Oh, yeah. This definitely grits me for anything going into the future. I think this is also just 6 or 5 or 6. I'm not sure. But,
yeah, they don't put an of anything on the number. But this is the issue where everything kind of comes together and you can kind of see, like, oh, this is kind of what this book is going to be.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a lot of setup for the characters and kind of their scenario, and now we're getting these characters thrown together on the run together. Mm-hmm. And I think the dynamics they're creating are very interesting.
Oh, it's great stuff. Yeah, I'm just so much of a fan of Christian Ward and his art style, and I love that he colors himself, and the colors that he uses are so just fucking cool for space stuff specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my main draw, the art. Like, I love the story and the characters that they're putting together, and I'm very interested in them, but it's really about the art for me.
The designs are so good. Yeah. Like, just all the ship designs and the space outfits, whatever. I absolutely, they made the, what is this place called? The weird monastery that she's at?
Dooney?
What?
Oh, no,
I think that's a planet.
That's a planet. I think doesn't the monastery move around?
It does, yeah, because that was the bit that was kind of a little bit of a reveal. Yeah. This issue was that,
but that's not the Invisible Kingdom, is it?
No, because that's like what they're aiming for. They name it. I don't remember, but
I don't remember.
Anyways, they like the nun, spelled None. It had like runs away because she found out this horrible secret about them, and she meets up with our space captain Grix, and they then get a big spotlight shown on them from the tower where she was a nun, which is basically also an NUN nun. And they like it starts chasing them, and I just thought the image of that was so fucking cool. Like, you didn't like think about, like, it's floating, but you were like, that thing's just a building, is what it feels like. And then it like starts chasing them in this fucking weird, like, dystopian, like, kind of
just this massive thing lording over you that you can't hope to overcome. Like, it was really, really cool use of a chase, definitely.
And they've got this very, very narrow, like, it comes to this very narrow point at the very bottom where she kind of jumped out of a chute, but it's like, so you can, not only is this giant thing chasing after them, but it has this kind of like root on the ground that's like right behind them. It's just some really cool imagery. But yeah, big fan.
Yeah, definitely. And I was wondering also, because I'm always wondering how writers and artists work together. Like, the writer is just writing this. Are they writing down the designs of what they want the ship to look like in general? Like that seems like a huge element of this stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm sure it varies. You know, some writers are probably more specific about the needs of, like, we want this thing trailing behind them on the ground because I think that's important to the drama or whatever. And there's probably other people who are just like, and they're in a big ship. I don't know. You make some designs and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
You know, like, I don't know. It probably completely varies team to team, but which is the boring answer, but probably true.
Fuck your ass, Doug. Sorry. I've been saying really mean things to you today. I gotta apologize.
You shouldn't say those things to your spouse.
Okay. I don't have a... Oh, yeah, because you're my spouse. Sorry, I forgot about that joke. Sorry. See, you were on a more of an arc-to-arc episodic storytelling. I was more of... Well, no, you were on serialized storytelling. I was more of an episodic. I forgot about that already.
Sure.
I'm done with that. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Invisible Kingdom continues to be great. Justice League Dark, which is where I wanted to originally talk about the most infuriating thing ever in our little interlude right now, before we get to the story part of Justice League Dark.
Which I just want to point out, I pointed out to Jack before the show, is not specific to Justice League Dark, but it is...
specifically annoying in Justice League Dark.
Sure, I guess. It's in every DC book this week. But...
1,
anyways.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight pages where one half of the double page is a stupid advertisement for Event Leviathan, which I'm excited for, but goddammit, you don't need 8 pages. It's just annoying, okay? It's just annoying. That's it.
Honestly, I think there's a couple more ads in here than you'd normally get in an issue, but I don't find it annoying when they do that, because honestly, that means I'm not looking at an ad for fucking
Snickers?
Fucking Snickers bars or whatever. I'm not looking at an ad for a comic convention. I'm at least looking at an internal kind of get excited for this event thing. And also I picked up a random issue of Spider-Man and I'm looking through it and there's more or less an ad every other page.
I get it, but it just gets tiring when you are expecting the same thing over and over again as a reader and as an experience. I would rather have it be in places that I'm not expecting it than like this.
I guess. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. I thought it was annoying that it was in every book, but I get it from a marketing perspective. What if someone only reads one book or whatever? But, I think honestly, if you read those ads, I was intrigued. Anyways.
I'm intrigued for the book that we're reading.
No, I know. I'm just fucking Jack. They got to do this shit. Okay, I
know you're right. Also, I'm really confused. Are people going to be able to read this without reading Action Comics?
I'm willing to bet you would be fine. I'm willing to bet it will give you enough of a preamble in the actual event itself that you would be able to just read Event Leviathan. It's a bunch of lead-in stuff in Action Comics, and you'd get more out of it probably, but I'm willing to bet they'll catch you up in a page or two or a few lines, if you aren't reading Action Comics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm excited because I've never read a story that's leading to a big event and then reading the events. You know what I mean? So this is kind of a new thing for me.
I guess.
So that
Sure.
sort of catch-up thing, I guess, will be redundant in this case for me, which will be interesting. I don't know. I'm really excited because that seems to be a different perspective that I haven't been able to have yet in my comics reading. Because it doesn't happen all the time. You know what I mean? That you're randomly reading a long series that's just going to end up in a big company-wide event, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. To the scale at least, I suppose. Because I think other ones you've just kind of jumped into.
Yeah. I thought that was going to be the idea for was it Dark Knight's Metal, but that wasn't really the same thing because, Scott Snyder's Batman.
It was kind of a completely different thing.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm really excited. But Justice League Dark still continues to be awesome. People in Mira are fucked.
Yeah, Jesus. And so the last issue, they were in this magical land of Mira, and the Lords of Order, the villains of this arc, gave them a choice, which is you can either forget about the existence of magic and your connection to it, or you can be destroyed. You can be erased from existence because you're not supposed to exist. They try to make this dramatic stand in this, and fucking John Constantine, who was hyper aged last issue, fucking takes the deal along with a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
He goes around and gathers the people who are would rather live without knowing than, because they were about to make this big dramatic stand to be no, we won't take your deal, do whatever you want, and we'll fight you. But then fucking Constantine takes the deal, and then they destroy everyone else.
Yeah.
horribly.
Pretty bad. But we don't actually go back to them after he says we choose to live.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, when did they...
Yeah, we don't actually go back to them. They like start to make their big stand, and then he gets up and he's like, we choose to live. Detective Chimp says, wait, what? And then we don't go back to them this entire issue.
Oh, huh. Interesting.
But I mean, it does make sense because John Constantine is kind of like, he's self-serving a lot, right?
Yeah. He's the slimy guy who's gonna take that choice because he's like, well, I'd rather live than not exist. Like, he's gonna make that hard choice.
Yeah. But yeah, I love this struggle though, like them going to Mordru, him being an asshole, but still helping them in the end. An asshole so far as to create one of the most terrifying images, I think, is Zatanna with fucking sphincter face.
Yeah, he kind of sucks her face into a little
sphincter.
Weird sphincter, yeah. He erases her mouth, and it just looks fucked up.
Yeah.
Punches and slaps Wonder Woman in the face a whole bunch. Jesus. I hope she gets her comeuppance on him at some point, because
I don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like he's demonstrated his power over them.
Yeah, but that's, that would be the like, in the full arc of this thing, to eventually give her, like she'll get one up on him. That would be the satisfying thing to do anyways.
What do you think of the chaotic designs of Zatanna and Wonder Woman now?
Oh, God. I don't know who's driving that, Tinian or Martinez Bueno, but they seem to really like to put Wonder Woman in weird one-off mystical redesigns.
You're talking about the Witching Hour?
Yeah, because that was one of the big deals in the Witching Hour, is like, here's this weird, more witchy version of Wonder Woman, and now we've got chaos magic versions of Wonder Woman and Zatanna. I don't know if I like them.
Really? I'll take it. I love, I don't know, I really like how the story led them to this point, and
I like it structurally. Yeah.
Okay. So you just don't like the design? I mean, it's not incredibly, insightful. I don't know.
It's just kind of throwing I like Zatanna's actually, because I think the creepy thing over the eyes with the gem and everything, I think that stuff looks cool. Hers is much more subtle. Wonder Woman's is it's fucking weird. They're throwing a lot of design ideas at it. She's bald. She's not got a shirt or a top, but she's got still got the W over her boobs. She's got a cape, a cloak, and then a bunch of gauntlet things on her legs and arms.
Would you say her design looks chaotic?
That's true, I suppose. It's really all over the place.
You just aesthetically are having a little problem with it, and that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily dislike it. It's just
It's chaotic.
Not my favorite, but this series is still cool. It's still great. I love that they make this point of Detective Chimp tries to use the sword, the Night Sword.
Oh yeah, the Night Master sword.
He is no longer the Night Master because there's no more Mira for him to get his power from, so he can't teleport them anywhere, which is kind of how they end up getting fucked.
Yeah.
By the way, have I mentioned I found on DC, scrolling through DC Universe, I was unaware that there's a fucking series about Detective Chimp and Blue Devil and other mystical characters.
Oh.
Called Shadow Pact.
Who's it written by? What's the creative team?
I'd have to look it up, but it was... I'm not sure. But I am definitely going to read that at some point, because I would like more. I'm guessing James Tynion is a fan of that series, since he seemed to incorporate a bunch of elements from that into this.
That seems super cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, going on into Martian Manhunter number 5. I feel like it's been way too long. Martian Manhunter number 5, the last issue, we had John Jones going into the mind of a lizard and figuring out a lot about this murder that they're investigating. and then encountering a Martian from the long dead species of the Martians. So, Doug, what do you think about the series still? It's still Steve Orlando and Riley Rossmo. What's up?
It's still great. I mean, his ghosts, his crimes or whatever on Mars are coming back to haunt him. And I think it feels pretty satisfying.
Yeah. You don't feel like it's changing the character unneedingly or anything like that? Because I know you have a problem with that sometimes.
I don't think so, because I feel like they're making a big point of like how much he's grown on Earth. It's not like they're implying that the John Jones we know now is different. It's just that he took a different path than we thought to get there. And I could see how some people would be upset at that, but I think it totally makes sense and works. And I think they're using it to create some very interesting emotional tensions in the current day story stuff. And I like that. What is the name of this fucking red Martian thing? They kind of explain why he looks like that. That he was basically a criminal. This is what they did to criminals, was that they stuck them, they like kind of branded them with these forms.
Well, yeah, it looks like they made them stay in a specific shape, which is his own prison for them. Makes sense.
Yeah, but there's something specific about the form that this one has. Yeah. That is, your red static flesh, a symbol of your crimes. So high felons have are made to have red flesh. It sounds like.
Okay.
I think.
I think so. So it looks like this guy's name is Harn Ozim.
Sure. I don't know. All the names all the Martian jargony stuff in this series is always just, I don't know. I kind of roll my eyes at it, but
it's tough. At least the other stuff outshines it usually. Specifically being like, I absolutely, at first Riley Rossmo's art, when I was looking at promo materials for this series, I really didn't like it all that much, but it's just amazing how much it grows on you because it's very, very well done with this story. And it's so cool how it changes, like, between showing all of this human stuff and the story behind, John Jones' human detective partner, and then just morphing into awesome alien fucking disgusting body horror shit too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's, I think, where I love Riley Rossmo's style in general, but I think the reason it really works with this book is because he's really good at that, like, alien body morphing horror shit. Yeah. It's really gross feeling. And you can see, like, the motion of things, like, transforming and bubbling up, and it's gross and cool. Big fan.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, this scene of him, like, slowly getting more and more of the curse on his body, like, as he's, like, looking at himself and being horrified is really, really cool. Like, I know he says sequential storytelling for, like, action scenes and stuff, but body transformations like this too. Like, it's just,
for sure,
great stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's about all I have for this one. I mean, there's a separate colorist for this too? Because it feels like color is such a big part of this too.
Is it Ivan Placencia?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
You know who that is? You heard of him?
I've seen the name on stuff. He's doing great work in this. I really like the colors. They work very well with Riley Rossmo's art.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway.
Let's move on. Move on into what we were talking about earlier a little bit. Action Comics number 1011.
Yeah. So, this is the last regular issue of Action Comics before. So, well, they're doing a special leading into Leviathan.
Really?
That is coming out this coming week. Did you not know that?
Shit. I need to add that to the list, I think.
That is this week. It is. I don't remember if it's labeled as Superman or Action Comics. It is Superman Leviathan Rising Special. It is an oversized thing.
Jesus.
And it is basically also what the Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen series are going to spin out of is this specific issue.
Oh, wow.
So
shit's gonna go down is what you're telling me.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you gotta add one more to your list, I know, I'm sorry, but
damn it.
You should read it. Art is by Yannick Paquette. It's very good.
That's awesome. Goddamn.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm gonna miss, because I've really, really loved Steve Epting's art on Action Comics as we've been going through the lead up to Leviathan and everything like that. I'm really, don't get me wrong, I'm really, really excited to read some Brian Michael Bendis, Alex Maleev shit. But Steve Epting is such a treasure. I hope he comes back to Action Comics. I probably won't, right after this event. It's probably going to change up a little bit.
They'll probably change it. I would hope he'll come back at some point, but I would also say that this arc has felt much more espionage than previous arcs.
Yes.
And the choice of Steve Epting for this arc feels so motivated by what this arc is.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they're going to lean off of the espionage stuff after this arc. I feel like it's not going to fit as well, but I mean, I'll take Steve Epting anytime. But he just fits so well with this.
Yeah. It's really, really amazing stuff. But yeah, it's this book is just leading up into Leviathan. We're going through, like, I love this guy that is an Tiger agent of Spiral. He seems like he's a fun character. Apparently people were mad that that Brian Michael Bendis seemingly killed him off, maybe?
I don't think he died. Did he? Oh, shoot. Yeah, that city exploded. Although they make a big point at the end of this that in a sort of Death of the Inhumans-like fashion, these characters are probably all not dead.
Yeah.
So
you don't think that was motivated by that, do you?
By that series? No. But it's a similar thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a thing that... Honestly, it's kind of a crutch that some superhero comics use sometimes.
So that people can die without dying.
Yeah, so you can make it seem like the stakes are higher, but then also you get them all back at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay. But it's still great stuff. It's just fun, everybody. Oh, can you tell me about Manhunter? Who the fuck is she? And that scene of them going into her place was great, by the way.
Yeah, she's I don't know much about her, honestly. She had her own title, I know. People were excited for her to come back. She's got this big staff. She's, I assume, a spin-off of the idea of the Manhunters, which were the, proto-Green Lanterns. But I don't think her character has much to do with them other than the name and a costume that sort of looks like them.
Okay.
Yeah. But she's back. Also, they're bringing back the Golden Guardian.
That also random dude, right? That was recovering.
Yeah. So they're leading towards that. They're leading towards a bunch of kind of old characters coming back. And honestly, I don't know a ton about any of them.
Okay.
But yeah.
We'll learn more. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Really excited.
I love this scene where Jimmy Olsen is talking to Superman, and he was led to believe that Superman was actually this bearded man named Chad an issue or two ago. Chaz. And he's super he calls him Chaz now when he comes back as Superman, and is offended that he won't tell him his real name. But yeah. What do you think of this bit where Lois... We'll move on in a sec, I think.
Okay.
But this bit where Lois is... Jimmy accused Amanda Waller of being behind this terrorist organization, Leviathan, and then took a picture of her, and then she, knocked him out and escaped. And so she's going to report that to the Daily Planet. Does that...
It doesn't really compute with me, because I don't understand... No. He got a picture of her, and he said, "You're Leviathan." What does that mean? I think
it's more that she was accused and then assaulted someone. This major government official was accused of that, assaulted someone, and then stole one of their craft and escaped.
I guess so.
So, I don't know. I can see it. I think it's also a stretch. So, I don't know.
It's
more of a stretch because they specifically, I think, kind of know that's not true, which is why it feels stupid.
Yeah, it seems like it's some self-serving thing for the people that work for the Daily Planet to, be be like, oh, we have a story. Like, why would you do that? Like,
it's specific. It feels disingenuous because I think in this scenario, as evidenced by the story, Lois and Superman, I think, kind of know it's not her. So this feels weird. Anyways, strange.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems like a weird red herring kind of thing, but whatever. Seems like one of those things that would need to be overly explained in a 6-issue miniseries. If you're not reading this book.
Yeah, no. Again, it's one of those things that they'll probably just gloss over. Like, Amanda Waller will just be on the run or whatever, you know, and, like, you as a reader will just kind of have to catch up, and you'll be fine, but you definitely won't have that depth that someone who was reading the build-up would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
what else? Do we want to talk about any of our solo books at all?
Well, we talked a little bit about Dial H for Hero. Did you want to say anything else about that?
Yes. Oh, also, real quick, I found Shadow Pact, and it is written by Bill Willingham, who is a creator I do like. So I'll have to check that out. Yeah. It's got it's got Detective Chimp, Blue Devil, the Night Master, and some other characters. Ragman is in it. But
did you say the Nightman is in it?
The Night Master, the guy who had the sword, who gave it to Detective Chimp at the beginning.
I thought after you said that, you said the Nightman. Like
the Nightman.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
No, Ragman.
Ragman. Oh yeah, I always forget he wasn't just like a new character. He seems like a new character to me, but I guess he's not.
It was kind of a reboot of that character, but this is anyways. I'll talk about very very briefly about Dial H for Hero. It's a very fun series, largely for the art, but I think the story is fun as well. So it's Joe Quinones is the artist on this. He does a very clean, I don't want to say retro, but like, I don't know. It's a very, honestly, I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like an animated, almost like a Disney movie.
Okay.
Kind of style. But then the kind of the artistic hook of this series is, so you know what the H dial does?
Yes. It makes you, you dial it and it makes you a hero, or it gives you superpowers. Yeah,
but basically a lot of these series are kind of just like a space for you to just throw crazy new superhero ideas at the wall.
Yeah.
So every time they dial the H dial, they become, at least in this series, a new superhero. Each time they're kind of an homage to a different either era or type of comic books. And Quinones completely changes his style for each one. So one of the characters turns into a like late 80s, early 90s, like trippy supernatural Vertigo type character, like someone who might have appeared in a Doom Patrol or like a Swamp Thing or whatever, called the Bluebird of Happiness. And he completely changes his style to feel like something from that late 80s, early 90s Vertigo kind of era. Like the first issue, the main character, or the male lead at least, turns into a 90s over like extreme character called Monster Truck. And he's got like fucking like monster truck parts and like engine shit all over him, and he looks like you probably don't know who Rob Liefeld is, but
I've heard about him. He does X-Men. He created Deadpool, right? Deadpool. Shut up.
He created Deadpool. Yeah, he co-created Deadpool, and he was a huge comic artist in the late 90s, and is kind of also a bit of the butt of a lot of jokes nowadays because his style was very, very 90s and also very based on no kind of anatomy whatsoever. But he basically draws that bit in homage to that style.
Okay.
And it looks completely different from his normal style. And there are tons of panels where stuff is transforming into the other styles.
Mm-hmm.
And so you
it sounds
see
really
kind of
cool, but
it is really cool. I've been very much enjoying this
I
series.
just don't feel like I'm drawn into like is there an ongoing story? Is it all just like different?
Yeah. No, well, so basically the premise here is so anybody can use the H-dial, but it's this telephone, and basically there is a network of all of the previous people who have used it, and they are all trying to like steal it from them. Manipulated by what seems to be this dark kind of, there is a character who like oversees the H-dial, like a mystical wizardy character, and they seem to be being manipulated by some sort of evil version of him, who I think is the guy from the cover of this issue. We haven't gotten much of him, but
okay,
it's really fun. It's a really fun series.
Who writes it?
This is Sam Humphries.
Humphries, okay.
Who has done some stuff that I have liked in the past. Not like a ton, but this is definitely my favorite thing of his that I have read.
Okay, I might do it on trade. Who knows? I'll try it.
You should pick up the first issue or something at some point, or I guess if you want to do it in trade, then you can.
I want to do it in trade because it sounds like something I would enjoy week to week. But I feel like I don't want to actually get it if there's not something that's gonna if I'm not into like the ongoing thing. You know what I mean?
Sure. Anyways, it's very fun.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
And then the Goon number 2, does it continue to be great? Still more humor? Too much humor? What's up?
It's a little lighter than that first issue. It's a little goofier. There's some Looney Tunes ass shit in this issue.
Okay.
That feels purposeful. I think it's fun. But it's definitely lighter. There is some darker stuff. There's some backstory stuff, some cool wordless action sequences.
Okay.
That are kind of just an art showcase for Eric Powell. It's fun. You see the return of the Death Curse guy. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it holds up. I don't think it's as good as that first issue, but I'm hoping, based on the end of this issue, I'm hoping there's going to be a bit of a like, we're adding characters starting with this one to what will hopefully be some sort of, I'm guessing, team up or some sort of some ultimate threat later down the line, and this will tie in a way that'll be satisfying. So we'll see. But
okay,
I like it.
Excited. In terms of my books that I read alone, Road of Bones, I didn't like it all that much. It was fine.
Okay.
It was just kind of like, okay. Samantha wants to read the next one though, so I'll probably read the next one. And then Assassin Nation is fantastic. It's fantastic action work. It's mostly what it is. It seems like every single issue there's a really long, really well done action scene each time, and people that were previously there just die. It's only 5 issues long, so a lot of people just die all the time. But they give you time to like really get to know them still, you know, and it seems very meaningful. They put a lot into these action scenes, and it's really, really great. It's really fun. So yeah, that's still good. That's about all I got. Oh, I wanted to ask something having to do with Action Comics.
Okay.
Not specifically. A general discussion that I want to just get out of the way a little bit. So, a lot of the complaint of Brian Michael Bendis' writing of Superman, a lot of them have been about how he doesn't care about the greater continuity. And a lot of times when I'm reading people's thoughts on it, I think like, wow, that's really, really specific, and I feel like you shouldn't be that worried about that continuity specifically right now. Like,
you're talking about the greater continuity of
the DC
Superman
universe.
Of DC?
DC
what
universe.
Specifically is he... what do you mean?
I don't know. Apparently people were mad about his portrayal of Jor-El. People were mad about like how he was...
The Jor-El shit was not... He was following up on stuff other people did. Look, like, you can't blame him for... He was honestly bringing him back into
I'm not here to talk about specifics of their complaints. I don't care. My whole thing is...
All right.
What is your opinion on like how much a specific author's ongoing series lines up with the greater continuity of the greater DC universe. Like, how specific do you care about it? Because for me, if they do too much to like make it all about that, then it's not about that artist's vision as much.
Yeah, use what suits your story, your like what you're trying to do with the character. Change what doesn't. Like, honestly, like, the story is what the story is. Like, the more you try to shoehorn connections into the universe, like, the more distracting the continuity becomes, kind of in a counterintuitive way. Like, I don't think that anything he has done in this series, I know you didn't necessarily want to talk about the complaints, but like, for example, I don't think that any of the like things that he has maybe skewed a little in terms of portrayals or anything is any further than anyone else does in any other books. People just get on Bendis for all kinds of bullshit like that, and I don't understand it. For things that everybody does. And also, I don't think in any way they're out of line. I think he does what suits his story best, which is what I would want for really any writer.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I agree with that. I was just wanting to know, because we have different perspectives on some things. Like, obviously, to a point, like, he's not going to say, oh, Superman in my story was raised by Nazis, like in Earth 10. You know what I mean? Like, that's obviously canon that needs to be. There's certain canon for characters that needs to be, like, held to. And obviously, if there's a big thing that happens in a huge event that, you know, changes a character significantly, it would be wise of the editor to hire someone that has a vision for what that character's circumstance is right now. But getting into the specifics of like, oh, you know, that character is acting a little bit differently now. Like, he really should be acting like
about
this.
Portrayals of like personalities and stuff. I think you are fucking talking out of your ass if you have a very specific idea of how a character should be written or how they should whatever. Like this idea that there is some kind of perfect version of how Superman or how Jimmy Olsen or whatever talk, and that like, or Lois Lane, and that like, oh, he's not writing them right, is fucking nonsense. These characters have been around since the 30s. Like, there is no singular vision of like how these people talk that like you're betraying by writing them a certain way.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to take their own take. And like, as long as it's not like, well, now Lois Lane is a fucking white supremacist or something. As long as you are like staying true to the general core of the character, like, they're always every writer is going to write these characters differently.
Yeah. Wait, Doug, you weren't supposed to spoil that. Remember, they told us not to say that. It was the whole reason.
Shoot, I got
the whole reason behind the Lois Lane series. Come on.
I forgot I got an advanced copy of that Greg Rucka Lois Lane series, and it's all about her being a white supremacist.
Damn it.
Jesus. Gonna pivot hard away from this topic.
No, but nonetheless.
Not sure why that's where I went to, but.
Nonetheless, I completely agree. Like, it's just, you just can't, sometimes it's just, maybe it is just them finding something to talk about, but I gotta think that there are some people who, you know, really, really enjoy, like, looking at the greater continuity of everything in DC, but to me, it just looks like corporate mandate if it gets too bogged down in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, well, that's what I want to talk about in that realm. Other than that, this is kind of the end of spoilers, and we just got a lot of really exciting things next week, including that thing that you were talking about, Leviathan.
Superman, Leviathan Rising Special. It's $10.
Go fuck yourself, Doug. God damn it. Okay.
It is, I believe, an 80-page thing.
Jesus Christ. We're going to really need to focus our reading efforts this week into what we want to talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pick one or two.
Because we got quite a few, including what I'm going to list off right now. We have Ascender number 2. Very exciting. Black Science number 40. That decided to come back this week.
Is that... Oh, Jesus Christ. Is this the last issue?
No. This is the first issue of the final arc.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay, so there's like 6 more issues?
Something like that.
Something like that? A few more, at least.
Yeah.
Oh.
So then we have Daredevil number 5, which is exciting, but not exciting in terms of this week.
Yeah.
We have Doomsday Clock number 10, case in point.
Good God.
Yeah. Immortal Hulk number 18. We have the final of Heroes in Crisis.
Oh, my God.
Number 9. no longer will we have to pay attention to anybody bitching about
Oh my God.
how much they hate the series.
I like that series a lot. I am more excited to stop hearing people complain about Heroes in Crisis than I am to finish Heroes in Crisis.
Yeah.
Which is not a slight against the book.
No, not at all. We also have the final issue of Peter Cannon Thunderbolt, which has been surprisingly great, by Kieran Gillen.
Yeah, it has.
Then we have the first issue of the new Prestige series from Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder, The Last Night on Earth, #1.
Which, Jesus Christ, how much is that going to be?
That's going to be $7.
Only 7? Okay, I thought it was going to be more than that. Because it's like it's like the Batman Damned thing, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
That was $7.
That's cheaper than the Superman thing.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Ugh.
And then I put this one on here because I thought it was cool, and maybe I just won't end up getting it, but it's all about the pets of the DC universe, and it's called The Dog Days of Summer, and it's gonna have Crypto the Super Dog in it. It's
What?
$10, Doug.
Oh no! Is there anybody writing it?
I don't know. It looks like it's a bunch of people. There's no one writing it, Doug.
I went to Google and I typed Dog Days of Summer, and then I was surprised by not getting what I wanted, of course.
Wow.
$10? Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone I care about.
But Doug!
I know, it's got Bat Cow on it.
I mean, you got G. Willow Wilson, Dan...
Yeah.
It just doesn't really... Stepyan Sijic, I like his art a lot.
Yeah.
It's $10, though.
But no.
God damn it. It's 80 pages as well. Why'd they have to do this?
No, there's too much fucking shit next week. I can't. It's a cute dog. It's a cute cow. It's got Beast Boy on the cover, but I can't.
I know.
But it says in a big word bubble, it says what you need.
It's what we need. That's happening. God damn it.
Also, I'm not sure if this is accurate. I need to double check this. I know you're not reading it, but I think Batman Damned comes out this week too, the last issue.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
Fuck. I don't even want to read that one. I'm doing it out of obligation. If it's that big, if this week it's that big, I might sneak that back onto the shelf. I will feel horrible guilt because, yeah. Anyways,
it always feels
too
bad.
big.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's too big. This week's too big.
I know.
Oh.
Okay.
Exciting though.
Oh, it's super exciting.
Big things. Fucking Doomsday Clock comes back in what looks like the fucking JSA thing. Like, they're finally gonna do it. Heroes in Crisis last issue. Like
Last Night on Earth, I'm super pumped for.
I'm excited for Last Night on Earth,
Yeah.
despite a lot of my ennui about Scott Snyder recently.
It looks cool as hell. And then Black Science coming back finally, like, for this final arc. Like, shit's gonna go down. And Ascender, too. Like, I'm really excited for that, too. Like, it's just...
a big week.
So much shit.
It's super on fucking the Leviathan thing, which I keep forgetting about. I'm so excited for that, even though it's coming at a terrible, terrible time.
DC's gonna make a lot of money for me next week.
God.
Yeah, all four of those things, Doomsday Clock, Heroes in Crisis, the Leviathan thing, and Last Night on Earth, are all DC. Like, really expensive shit.
I have the second to last issue of the Wildstorm this week.
Oh, God. Warner Brothers, man. Warner Brothers. Okay. Well, tune in next week for all that shit. Jesus Christ.
Did you know there's an annual for Detective Comics coming out?
Next week?
Yeah, written by Tomasi.
Fuck my life. God damn it. We don't have to... we probably do, though. It's Tomasi.
Black Hammer comes out. Is that real?
Black Hammer?
Is that wrong? Is that my app being fucked up?
It might be the Black Hammer trade paperback?
No, it says it's issue 11.
Which Black Hammer? 45?
I don't know if that's real. I don't know if that's, no.
Age of Doom?
It might be wrong.
I think that's wrong. Age of Doom, just came out.
Yeah. Anyways, you're right. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. All right.
June 26th is when the next one comes out.
Okay. All right. That's better. That's better. Let me check Detective Comics.
God damn.
Is that real?
Okay.
Yes. No, that's real.
Okay. Fuck. Okay. In the interest of moving on, let's do a little bit of a talk. We haven't been able to talk about Doom Patrol all that much because, it's tough to keep on a weekly schedule and watch it beforehand. But at this point, we're about a week away from, Swamp Thing, and we're a week away from Doom Patrol, the finale, airing. So we're going to talk a little bit about this back half of the season and how we liked it. And I'm going to start off by saying, it really got way more consistently awesome and amazing in the last, 5 episodes even,
Yeah, I slightly disagree with you in that I think I did not enjoy the Beard Hunter episode, at least the Beard Hunter half.
That was that was one episode, and that was a while before the end.
Yeah, I guess. How many episodes were there?
There were 15 in all.
Okay, yeah, I guess I don't know what number that was. There were a number of really great episodes after that. All the stuff with Flex Mentallo was good.
I cannot believe they actually did it like that. Just ridiculous muscle mist. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, oh boy. Also, where did he go? I don't remember. Did they write him out in some way? I don't remember what happened to him.
He was there. Okay. So what happened was Flex Mentallo, so they, first of all, rescued Cyborg from the Bureau of whatever, the ant farm by, causing chaos, and Flex Mentallo was there with them. He helped them get there, and they broke everyone out, and the butts were loose.
Well, then they had the whole episode after that where he helped them go into the negative space, and then he just kind of disappeared.
So, he helped them go into the white space of a comic book.
Or white space.
Yes. He did his specific flexing, and he did it wrong, and they all came.
Yeah, well, literally. By the way, this is a television show on DC streaming network, if you don't know what the hell we're talking about. And there is, I shit you not, a 2-minute segment where this character whose superpowers are based around him flexing his muscles flexes the wrong muscle, and everyone on the street they're on has a 2-minute orgasm.
I can't
the
believe
sequence goes on forever. It's incredible. It happens and you slowly are like, wait, is that what's happening? And then they say it. And then it goes on for a full minute and a half past that.
And it's not even, it gets to the point where it's hysterical, and then it's they're still doing it, and that's funny because they're still fucking doing it. It's just fucking...
It passes that point where it's you're oh my god, this is still happening, and then it's really fucking funny that they're still doing it,
Oh my god.
Boy.
The things that Danny does in there is great too, the street being, he's orgasming too, it's just
yeah.
Oh my god, I couldn't get over that. And then Robot Man having to fake it.
Oh god, yeah, and that's what fucking puts the whole thing over the edge, is him not knowing what's happening because he's a robot, or he's in a robot body, so he can't feel anything, and so he slowly figures out what's happening, and then he starts faking having an orgasm, and then they call him out on it afterwards, and he's oh boy, it's so fucking good. Yeah, but Flex Mentallo just kind of disappears after they go. He actually gets them into the white space.
Well, because the whole last 2 or something episodes are in the white space. I'm pretty sure.
For the most part, until the second half of the last episode. But and they totally go full in on I was wondering, based on the characterization of the chief they had up to that point, if they were gonna do that he caused their accidents.
Yeah.
They totally do. And it seems like they're keeping him around as are they going to still be working for him next season? It's fucking crazy.
I mean, yeah, it is really, really crazy. I was not expecting them to go full on that. I mean, they were kind of motioning to it. He always has his secrets and everything. That's a whole thing. And they're super innovative. They're super into Grant Morrison's run. And that's a big part of it. But
he goes full villain in Grant Morrison's run. He is evil at the end of that run, and they all hate him. But they're kind of splitting the difference a little here, where they hate him, but they're still trying to make him a little he's kind of he regrets it.
Yeah,
and so they're trying to. I don't know if they're gonna. It seems like they're implying that they're still gonna be living with him next season. So I don't know how that's going to work. Assuming that this fucking show ever continues, because the streaming platform is probably going to.
Oh, you think so?
There's no way. Dude, there's no way this is like, there was buzz going around a while back that they were like considering shutting this thing down. And like, I can't imagine this thing is making money.
You mean they're not going to do a new episode every week? That was their whole thing. We're going to have a new episode for any TV show every single week. Like, okay.
It's ridiculous. Like, they've got Swamp Thing coming up. I'm not I don't know. I've not been hearing good early buzz about the Swamp Thing show, and I'm worried.
Whatever. If it's bad, it'll be fun. You know, I'm excited to see how they do all that shit. Like, they did well with this one. They really did.
Yeah, and I actually still think, like, if you're gonna I don't know if you're gonna cancel now that Doom Patrol ended, but I mean, if you're still paying for the rest of the month, I recommend going back and watching Titans. It's fun.
No,
it's
a
fun show.
I mean, I'm gonna continue paying, like, to see how Swamp Thing is too, and I want to read all this shit on there too. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're gonna keep, I'm definitely keeping it just for the comics stuff, because I have found it to be very handy.
It's very nice, really nice, especially for some of the stuff that's out of print now. Like when I get to that point in the question, I don't have to try and find all this shit to read Ryan O'Neill's question. I can read the Spectre on there now. I can read.
Yeah, you were able to read all of Starman, despite a lot of those trades being very hard to find.
Exactly.
/ expensive.
Yeah. But nonetheless,
yeah.
Talking about Doom Patrol, this show I can't believe it ended up being 15 episodes long this first season.
Right?
But it really, there is not a lot of stinker in there. Like, it really honed in the back half, except for, okay, I'll give you the Beard Patrol, the Hair Patrol one. But it really, really went a lot of great places, and to places where, how the fuck does this exist as a TV show? You know?
The fucking last episode, the villain of the entire, and again, major spoilers for this, but the villain of the entire series is revealed to be this massive, sad failure, and is usurped by, I shit you not again, a talking evangelical cockroach and a sentient, a rat named Admiral Whiskers, who both become giant.
And then
they fucking fall in love and start tongue kissing in the middle of a street. So that's what basically allows them to win in the end. It's because the team has been swallowed by either of them, and Cliff needs to make his way from Admiral Whiskers?
No, he needs to make his way, I think, from the cockroach to the rat, doesn't he?
He needs to. He needs to go from the rat to the cockroach, because the cockroach can survive the radiation, and they all need to be inside of the cockroach to survive the giant blast of radiation the Negative Man creates. This show is one of the most fucking bonkers things I have ever watched in a television show. And if this streaming platform gets shut down, or if they dial back to just being about the comics and we never get another one of these TV shows, I will be glad that at least we got this fucking completely inexplicable television show about the most obscure superhero team on the planet with giant actors in it. Yeah. And clearly at least some kind of budget, and nobody watched it, but it's incredible.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you haven't watched it, if you, like most people, are not subscribing to DC Universe, the DC streaming platform, go. All the episodes are up now. They'll only let you do a free week, but you can watch all these episodes in a week, and I would love to just binge all of this in a week. Sign up for the free trial, watch all of it, cancel after that. It's one of the fucking best bits of recent television I watched. Genuinely. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Even with its ups and downs, it almost, because it has some of the downs where, sorry, that was offensive. Because it has, some of those places where it's I'm not sure if this is working as much now. It makes it, when it does just most of the time when it succeeds just to be this fucking insane shit that you can't believe is real, it makes it all the better. You know?
This show succeeds despite all reason.
Yes.
You describe any of this show and it sounds like a train wreck.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why. Other than they fucking execute on those things. Like, they make all of this ridiculous bullshit work, and they make it meaningful to the characters. And I was realizing the last few episodes how much I think, honestly, the soundtrack is adding a lot to why a lot of the stuff tonally fits together. Like, the soundtrack's really good. I don't know. There's so much that's so great about this show. And I really hope they get to do more. Yeah,
me too. What you just described just kind of sounds like what Grant Morrison does too. He makes bonkers ass shit, mean well for his characters, and just creates amazing craft out of it. Like, they really took the reins on trying to make a creative vision like that come to light in a different medium. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And honestly, like, okay, this season is like twice as long as Titans was.
Oh, yeah.
And Swamp Thing just got cut down recently. Basically, the production got shut down. Not recently, back when they were filming it. And they had to like quick wrap everything up. And there are rumors around the whole platform getting shut down, or at least integrated into some sort of wider WB1 rather than specifically DC. But I think looking at how long this series is, it's so clear. It feels very clear to me that like the people were like, okay, we're never going to get to fucking do this again. Like, this is why we wanted to, this is the show we really wanted to make when we made this thing. We made a Titans thing because it was a name and people know Robin and Beast Boy and Starfire and shit from the cartoon. But then they were like, okay, this is the show we really want to do. And we're going to just fucking do it and hope no one notices and just throw it out there.
Bless those people. God bless those people.
They fucking introduced. I am kind of annoyed that we didn't get to see Dorothy at the end.
Hey, it's a teaser. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess they showed her from the back. She was wearing like a Dorothy outfit, like Wizard of Oz Dorothy, which was Dorothy Spinner in the comics wore something like that, didn't she?
She had like Wizard of Oz is what you're saying. Yeah, that's basically it.
But she has like a deformed kind of almost
ape face.
Kind of primate looking face.
Yeah.
On like a little girl in a Dorothy from Wizard of Oz outfit, and she is, they imply in this series, the most powerful superhuman in the world.
She kind of is.
Great. And she's also apparently in this, the chief's daughter, which is an interesting angle.
Really is.
But yeah.
Seriously, no hyperbole here. Fucking do it. Fucking watch it.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna about wrap it up. Doug, you got anything else to say?
No. Just
good.
Yeah, I definitely watch that show. No one's going to listen, but I can't stress enough that you need to just get rid of any expectations and just try it because it's so good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So I think that's going to about do it for this week. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. We're generally new. We're in general new, kind of. But the absolute biggest thing you can do for us, nonetheless, if you like the show, is give us a review or star rating on iTunes. Please do it. And if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us with your mouth or with your mouse. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back next week, or you can subscribe to the podcast feed and never have to think about it. Valuable content.
You can do that on pretty much any podcast app you can think of. iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, more on Spotify. So whatever you prefer, we've got you covered. In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on our Twitter, on our Instagram, on Facebook. We are at Comics Covered on Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/comicscovered. You can find archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's libsyn.com. Or on our YouTube channel or Facebook. There are versions you can play in a browser there. If you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on our social media channels, and we will get back to you. Thanks again for listening. I am Doug.
I'm Mr. Price, and this has been Comics Covered.
Yep.